Yo, Beijing, how's the eye? Looks like it's healing up nice. Hey, don't walk away from me.
You know the first rule of karate, right? You always keep your guard up.
You really want to do this, Beijing?
I'll take it easy on you. No hands.
The movie opens in a Beijing dojo, where a teenager, Li Fong, is deep in kung fu practice when a woman arrives and asks to see the owner, Mr. Han. Mrs. Fong had come to take her son to America because she had secured a new job there. Mr. Han told her to explain the plan directly to Li Fong. When she spoke to him, she demanded that he agree. She ordered him to quit kung fu, calling it violent, and warned that she would cut off his allowance and remove him from the family registry if he resisted. With no other option, Li Fong agreed.
Shelley, would you like to move to New York?
No. Why are you speaking in English?
Practice violence, you get violence in return.
The next day, Li Fong and his mother arrived in New York. Mrs. Fong, a respected doctor, rented a luxury apartment downtown. After unpacking, Li Fong went out to buy food. At a nearby pizza shop, the owner Victor mocked his appearance.
Can I help you?
Do you guys have, like a stuffed crust?
Do you know what? I think I can help you out. Go 20 miles in any direction, find yourself a nice, crappy little strip mall, and I'm sure you can find a stuffed crust.
His daughter Mia defended Li Fong and scolded her father. Li Fong ignored the insult and accepted Mia's help with his order. The following day, Li Fong began classes at a top school in New York. Life there was very different from Beijing, but he tried to adjust. After school, he saw Mia struggling with several pizza boxes and helped her pick them up. That moment became their proper introduction. Mia left quickly to finish her deliveries, and Li Fong offered to join her. She welcomed his company. On the way, they stopped near a karate dojo where many students were training. Mia asked if he knew martial arts. Li Fong admitted he did, but downplayed his ability, even though he was skilled in kung fu. Mia warned him not to train there. At that moment, the dojo owner, O'Shea, called Mia over and told her to remind her father, Victor, about his unpaid debt. He then pointed out that Mia was with another boy and told a student named Connor. Angered, Connor lashed out when one of his training partners teased him.
What are you laughing at?
It was funny.
After leaving the dojo behind, Mia and Li Fong continued their deliveries. Once they were finished, she invited him to Chinatown to buy something. The total price came to $600, but Mia only had $450. Li Fong bargained in Mandarin, convincing the cashier to lower the price. Mia was delighted and thanked him, promising to show him around New York the next day. Mia kept her promise. She took Li Fong across the city on her motorcycle. After a long ride, the motorcycle broke down, forcing them to take the train while pushing it along. On the train, a group of teenagers approached, led by Connor, Mia's ex-boyfriend and a skilled karate student. He tried to flirt with her again. Li Fong stepped in and told him to stop. Connor punched him in the eye before leaving. Later, Mia and Li Fong continued walking together, pushing the broken motorcycle. Mia apologized, saying he got hurt because he protected her. Li Fong brushed it off, calling it a small injury. He explained that he had not fought back because he had promised his mother he would not fight or practice kung fu in America. Mia then brought him to her family's pizza shop, where her father Victor treated the injury. Victor even used makeup to cover the bruise so Mrs. Fong would not notice. When Li Fong asked why Victor was so skilled at handling punches, Victor revealed that he used to be a boxer and had dealt with bruises like that every day. The next morning, Mrs. Fong still noticed the bruise and warned Li Fong again not to fight. Later that day, she took him to the city library and introduced him to Alan, who would be his tutor for college preparation. That night, Li Fong cleaned his room in the apartment. While tidying up, he found a photo of his late brother, Li Bo, who had died 2 years earlier. He remembered how Li Bo, a kung fu expert, once tried to teach him the flying kick. It was a difficult move, and Li Fong had never mastered it. The memory stayed with him, stirring both regret and determination. Not long after, once he had recovered from his eye injury, Li Fong returned to school. There, he ran into Connor, who mocked him in front of other students. Frustrated, Li Fong challenged him to a fight. Connor accepted and agreed to use only his legs. They fought in the schoolyard as a crowd quickly gathered. Even with that limit, Connor defeated Li Fong. During the fight, Li Fong tried the flying kick his late brother Li Bo had once taught him, but he failed and was knocked down. Teachers arrived and stopped the fight. On his way home, Li Fong was consumed with anger and disappointment. That night, while passing by the pizza shop, he noticed Mia's broken motorcycle. As he started to repair it, he saw 4 thugs attacking Victor, Mia's father.
Victor! I told you, kid.
Victor was stunned by his skill. He explained that the men worked for O'Shea, the dojo owner and loan shark. Victor owed him money and had been unable to pay, so O'Shea often sent his men to cause trouble. The only way Victor could repay the debt was by competing in O'Shea's underground boxing matches. Desperate, he begged Li Fong to train him in kung fu. Li Fong refused at first, saying they barely knew each other. At home, troubled by Victor's plea, Li Fong called his uncle Mr. Han, who was also his kung fu master. He asked if he was allowed to teach someone else. Mr. Han told him it was fine as long as the student used kung fu for good. Encouraged, Li Fong returned to Victor the next day after school and told him to prepare for training. Victor was overjoyed, and their lessons began. During one session, Mia walked in and scolded both of them. She did not want her father to return to fighting. Victor explained that this was the only way to clear his debt to O'Shea. He promised that once the debt was paid, he would never fight again. Reluctantly, Mia agreed, but only for this one fight. From then on, Li Fong trained Victor seriously. He used unusual methods, mixing kung fu with daily tasks like kneading pizza dough. He explained that kung fu could be applied to everything in life. To inspire Victor, he even placed a photo of his master, Mr. Han, on the wall. Li Fong also began helping out at the pizza shop, which brought him closer to Mia. Connor noticed their growing connection. One evening, Li Fong stayed behind to train alone. Victor found him and saw that he was troubled. When asked, Li Fong shared the painful memory of his brother Li Bo's death. After winning a kung fu tournament in Beijing, Li Bo had been attacked by a rival and his gang. The rival used a knife and killed him. Li Fong, frozen in fear, had been unable to help, and he carried that guilt ever since. Victor told him to stop living in the past and to keep moving forward. The next day, Li Fong studied with Alan at the pizza shop. Later, Mia invited both of them to an Italian cultural festival. Knowing Li Fong liked her, Alan accepted. That evening, at the festival, Li Fong grew jealous when he saw Connor trying to get close to her. A few nights later, on Saturday, Victor entered an illegal boxing match to win money for his debt to O'Shea. Before the fight began, Mia noticed Li Fong was avoiding her. He admitted he was jealous and insisted Connor was not right for her. Mia then revealed her true feelings and they nearly kissed before Victor interrupted. At the arena, Victor warmed up and soon faced O'Shea's fighter. Using the kung fu techniques Li Fong had taught him, he started strong. In the opening rounds, Victor dominated and landed clean punches. Toward the end of the round, O'Shea instructed his fighter to cheat. The opponent delivered illegal strikes behind the referee's back, and Victor began to weaken. After he fell, the fighter hit him again in the head. Victor started bleeding and was rushed to the hospital. Mia panicked while Li Fong froze, reminded of his brother Li Bo's death. At the hospital, Mrs. Fong treated Victor's injuries. She scolded Li Fong for his involvement in the fight. Overcome with guilt, he blamed himself for training Victor. He decided to abandon martial arts and forget kung fu altogether. He even blocked Mr. Han's number to cut off contact. 5 days later, Li Fong returned from school and sensed someone had entered the apartment through the window. It was Mr. Han, who had come from Beijing. Soon after, Mrs. Fong arrived and was shocked to see him. During dinner, she asked why he came without notice. Mr. Han explained that he was worried because he could not reach Li Fong's phone. Later, in private, Li Fong admitted he now hated martial arts because training Victor had led to the hospital incident. The next morning, Mr. Han woke Li Fong early and told him they would visit Victor at the hospital. Li Fong refused at first, afraid to face Victor and Mia, but Mr. Han insisted. When they arrived, Mia left the room still upset. Victor, however, did not blame Li Fong. Mr. Han asked if there was a major official tournament besides illegal boxing. Victor mentioned the New York 5-region karate tournament, though he apologized that he could not take part. Mr. Han then revealed his plan. Li Fong would enter instead. Li Fong resisted, saying he had no interest. Mr. Han explained that Kung Fu's reputation in New York had been damaged by Victor's defeat. If Li Fong entered and won, he would restore its respect. The prize money would also help Victor. After hearing this, Li Fong finally agreed. The tournament was set for 10 days later. That afternoon, Mr. Han visited a karate dojo in New York and met Master Daniel. Daniel welcomed him and was surprised to learn Mr. Han had been a friend of his late father. When Mr. Han asked Daniel to train Li Fong for the tournament, Daniel hesitated, questioning why Mr. Han would not train his own nephew. Mr. Han explained that he was a kung fu master, not a karate master, and his plan was to combine both styles so Li Fong would have the best chance. Daniel eventually agreed to help, while Alan offered his family's garden as a training ground. The next day, the training began. Mr. Han worked with Li Fong intensively, and soon Daniel joined in to support. Day after day, Li Fong pushed through difficult exercises to build endurance, gradually mastering techniques from both kung fu and karate. Meanwhile, Connor continued his own training under O'Shea. One afternoon, Li Fong shared two concerns with Mr. Han. First, he wanted to fix his relationship with Mia, who was still upset. Second, he wanted his mother's approval for the tournament so he could compete with confidence. Mrs. Fong had never supported him because she was still haunted by Li Bo's death. Mr. Han advised Li Fong to invite Mia to dinner to make peace. He also promised to speak with Mrs. Fong to change her mind. The next evening, Li Fong ordered pizza online from Mia's shop, arranging for it to be delivered to Alan's garden. When Mia arrived, she was surprised to find Li Fong waiting and inviting her to dinner. During the meal, Li Fong apologized for Victor's accident and said he wanted to make things right if she forgave him. Mia realized it had not been his fault and forgave him. They grew closer and nearly kissed before Alan interrupted. That night, when Li Fong returned home, his mother gave him permission to enter the tournament. She only asked that he be careful. Her change of heart came after Mr. Han convinced her. With 1 day left before the New York 5-region karate tournament, Mr. Han and Daniel pushed Li Fong even harder. In the final training session, they focused on the flying kick Li Bo had once taught him. Together, they modified it to make it less predictable. The new version emphasized striking low upon landing. Finally, the tournament began. To Li Fong's surprise, Connor Mia's ex-boyfriend and rival was the defending champion. Li Fong wanted to face him, but the bracket placed them apart. They could only meet in the final if both advanced. The matches started. Li Fong and Connor each fought through their opponents with determination. Li Fong relied on the techniques Mr. Han and Daniel had taught him and managed to win despite tough competition. At one point, Connor ordered his bodyguards to injure Li Fong out of jealousy, but Mr. Han and Daniel stopped them and fought back. In the end, Li Fong secured his place in the final, where he would face Connor. The match was scheduled 3 days later, giving both fighters time to rest. The next day, instead of letting him rest, Mr. Han and Daniel pushed Li Fong through even tougher training to prepare him for his showdown with Connor. The hard work paid off, and soon the long-awaited day arrived. The final match between Li Fong and Connor began. From the stands, Mrs. Fong cheered for her son. Mia and Victor, who had just been discharged from the hospital, were also there to support him. Both fighters entered the arena, and the match started. At first, they fought cautiously, exchanging punches and kicks. Then, Connor landed a heavy kick to Li Fong's shoulder that nearly knocked him out. At that critical moment, Li Fong heard the voices of his mother, Mr. Han, and Mia, giving him the strength to rise and continue. Regaining focus, Li Fong prepared to use the flying kick. Connor recognized the stance and smirked, believing he knew how to block it. He was wrong. The move had been modified during training with Mr. Han and Daniel. Li Fong launched the kick, and while Connor braced for a high strike, the blow landed low instead, knocking him down. Li Fong scored the winning point. Unwilling to accept defeat, Connor tried to attack from behind. Li Fong reacted quickly, threw him to the ground, and almost delivered a finishing strike. At that moment, Connor gave up and admitted defeat. The next day, everyone gathered at Mia's pizza shop to celebrate. As promised, Mr. Han and Li Fong gave the tournament prize money to Victor so he could settle his debt with O'Shea. Thanks to Li Fong's victory, Kung Fu gained new respect in America.